A plague, a devastating, silent plague, is destroying lives across Europe. 250,000 children are reported missing every year in the European Union. That's one child every 2 minutes. But we hardly notice. Millions of European children are suffering at the malevolent hands of paedophiles and child traffickers. 1 in 5 children in Europe are victims of some form of sexual violence. In 70% to 85% of cases, the abuser is somebody the child knows and trusts. Parental abductions represent 36% of missing children cases reported on the Missing Children in Europe hotlines. In the UK, with a population of 61 million, it is estimated that 140,000 cases of missing children are reported annually. That's 383 each day. And in Belgium, with a population of 10.5 million, it's an average of 4 new cases every day. UNICEF reported in 2007 that 2 million children are trafficked across Europe every year.
In the UK alone, you would be talking about thousands of children being trafficked, children being molested, being sold.
There's about 200 new images of child pornography online every day. 1 in 3, 1 in 4 children get abused before the age of 18. 8 million children go missing every year or are reported missing every year. Through other NGOs, we know that it's about 1.2 million that are being sexually exploited or trafficked around the world.
Runaways make up 50% of missing children cases reported on the Missing Children Europe hotlines, and runaways are 9 times likelier to contemplate suicide than other children. So even when a missing child is not an abduction, it is still a matter of life and death. 1 in 6 runaways are assumed to sleep rough. 1 in 8 resort to stealing to survive, and 1 in 12 children are at serious risk of some form of abuse.
The numbers are difficult because there are no consistent numbers, there's no consistent definitions. And there are many countries who don't have laws specific to sexual exploitation or to missing. And so trying to get any statistics or data out of that or out of those countries is very difficult, if not impossible.
It's a guesstimate based on some things, but the data is very much incomplete. So to answer your question, we just don't know. We don't know exactly how many children are missing, how many are being trafficked, how many are in acute danger, because the police organizations, there's no database.
The Internet Watch Foundation observes that while victims are increasingly younger, the abuse is proving to become increasingly more violent. The disease is spreading and becoming more aggressive.
We see that new things are emerging, such as live streaming of abuse, such as children or young people taking sexually loaded pictures of themselves and posting that online. So I think we need to do a lot of work regarding prevention, in addition to the law enforcement work that is ongoing. And I think that law enforcement and child protection systems have to work together in making sure that that happens, irrespectively of where it happens.
In the Netherlands, we have about 40,000 reports of missing persons each year. This number includes adults and children. But it's not the job of the police to find all these people. It's the job of the police to look at which cases are police cases. In which cases does the police need to take action?
European police forces and child protection agencies have limited cooperation across the European Union because of differences in jurisdiction, sensitivity to national sovereignty regarding justice issues, interdepartmental conflicts and lack of funding. Despite the best intentions of European policymakers and police forces, too little is being done too slowly.
The police coordination on a formal level is in place, but we feel that sometimes, because time is so of the essence in these kind of cases, it's very important that the informal lines are there as well, between the police experts that are actually working on the cases.
I don't understand why criminals can work across borders without any problems. Have you ever heard any criminal network or mafia complain about cultural differences and language obstacles and national sovereignty? No, they have no problem. They work together. So why can't police and justice cooperate in the same way?
Traffickers don't stop at borders either.
They actually are going for the borders. It gives them a head start. If you're going for a border, you know it buys you valuable time.
It takes a few seconds to pass a border. So we have to exchange information also that fastly if possible.
More and more with the borders not being as prevalent as they were, we're very anxious to become part of this whole process here in Europe to ensure that we can share our information, and likewise if it's appropriate that they would seek our assistance as well.
Several organisations operate national rapid response services for missing children, including the Dutch non-profit organisation Amber Alert.
The Amber Alert is a European initiative. We're trying to ensure that when a child goes missing in one country in Europe, that people on the other side of the border are also alerted.
When the police assess that the child's life is in immediate danger, sometimes they need the help of the public. And that's what the Amber Alert system is all about. Since the beginning of the American Amber Alert, after issuing the alert, 702 children were recovered after the alert. From the Netherlands, I know that of the children who were not killed before the alert was issued, 75% was safely recovered. So it does work, but only if you do it quick enough. We know from the Department of Justice that if you have a typical abduction, 3/4 of the children are dead within 3 hours. 3/4, 3 hours. So it really is a race against the clock.
Of course, we feel that an Amber Alert is a very heavy tool that needs to be used with extreme caution, and it needs to take into account the full set of rights of the child, including the right of privacy. Because having your picture out there is something that has an impact on the future life of the child.
We may not just take public information and spread it, because maybe the police forces on the other side aren't aware of it. Maybe the information is dangerous for the missing and shouldn't be published. So they have procedures fixing all of this, but the procedures takes time. And so we have to find out how could we respect the procedures and gain time in order to be as fast as the criminals are.
You need missing children specialists. For example, in the UK that would be CEOPS, missing children bureaus in other countries. They can assess with very limited information and very limited time frame whether a child's life is in danger. So they are the specialists and they can decide whether an alert should be issued. By teaming them up, we think we can get this done.
In the United States, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reports that 39% of child abuse images, the possession of which led to arrests in 2000-2001, concerned children between the ages of 3 and 5. 19% concerned children below 3.
The first thing is the early identification of risk and harm, understanding which are the cases that need the really urgent attention, because it's not always that obvious, and then being able to corral all the resources, making sure we have a proper multi-agency response with the police, social care, the NGOs, working internationally as well where necessary, and all having a coordinated effort to recover the child as quickly as possible.
NGOs are very good on international base with NGOs. Police is perfect with police, you know. Ministry with ministry or police. But what if you bring all together, for example, in Holland, in Netherlands, it's brilliant when you have NGO that's composed of ex-police experts. You know, we don't have any police that would ever go to NGO services, and that also makes the difference of collaborating.
It is high-profile cases such as that of Madeleine McCann, the British girl who went missing while on holiday with her parents in Portugal, which highlight the lack of a coherent European strategy. In the case of Madeleine McCann, it is possible she would not have been abducted if information about paedophile activity on the Algarve was shared with European embassies, police forces and tour operators.
It raised the profile dramatically. It's raised the level of interest and awareness. It's highlighted some of the failings in the system, particularly when working internationally, being able to cooperate with neighbour countries and how you can do that quickly and efficiently and overcome some of the bureaucratic and procedural processes. And again, I think we've learned a lot from that, but we've still got a lot more to do to develop that to the highest possible level.
Maddie McCann, the case itself helped move things forward tremendously. And the UK currently has a successful child rescue alert, but many countries are just not there yet. The police is unaware, is not interested. Politicians want this, but we are seeing sometimes police organizations who are, well, still working as if we had borders.
We need to make sure that we have a toolbox approach where we develop these tools, including a child alert system, including trained law enforcement, including hotlines for missing children that provide the follow-up, the monitoring, the preventive aspect that is needed for these cases. If we manage to build these toolboxes and connect them from one country to another, I think we'll be making progress.
Paedophile networks operate easily across national borders. Despite improving interagency activity, huge gaps in the European system are easily exploited by child abusers, including traffickers. Experts told Euronet Plus that only a top-down approach from the European Commission can accelerate police and agency cooperation, and in doing so, the lives and welfare of millions of European children will be improved.